Hello, folks, and welcome to the Internet Business School surgery session. It's week 31, can you believe it? And in this week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about another step in the process of setting up a kind of like a professional account and a professional business inside our ultimate business system. So in the last couple of sessions that I've been on, I showed you how to set up sort of domain emails and use a domain email address to sign up for an ultimate business system account. I've connected my domain to the internet, to the DNS settings, so I've got and then put a sort of template website in place. Okay, and the one we were looking at was this aibusinessconsultant.co.uk domain that I bought. I bought it a couple of years ago, and it's just been sitting there, and I thought, oh, we've got to do something with this. We've got to do something with this. So it was kind of an impulse buy, and what I need to do now is to try and build out a business on it. Okay, so it is a domain that's suitable to an AI consultant, but I haven't really got any idea about that business, what other people are doing, how should I set it up, how should I brand it, market research and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so that's what I'm going to address with using AI and some of the new prompts that I've been building. Okay, so you remember in the old days before we had AI, of what we used to teach in our diploma course, to how to set up and qualify a business. So we kind of had an idea about a business, and you do some market research around that niche, and then we'd send you away to look at some competitors and Google Trends and things like that. And you do all your manual research to look up what everyone else was offering. You'd have to go away and create a sort of a brand identity. So that most people started, I need to create the logo, and the logo defined what the brand identity was about. And then you would have to go through all the process of setting up your website in WordPress and creating all the pictures and adding all the content and just trying to build things up steadily over time. And it's a lot of work. It was a lot of manual searching and also a lot of guesswork. You were never quite sure whether it's going to work for you. Okay, so when you set up a business in the past, it's something that had to evolve. You had to go through lots of iterations and learn what worked and what didn't. So yeah, it was really sort of fragmented in that process. And if you got it wrong, if you were wrongly set up, it could be, really expensive for you. You could waste 4 to 6 months of work, only, of getting this lovely website and all these products, and you put them out there and no one buys them. And it's kind of because you haven't done your legwork right at the beginning. Okay, so nowadays we have AI. And AI is great at doing a lot of this legwork for us. Okay, so with ChatGPT and Gemini and Claude, Claude is particularly good at the moment, I have to say. You can use that and ask it questions about your business to get ideas about your niche and what the potential is. You can try to assess the market demand and size. Dead easy to actually look up what your competitors are doing. And you can use it to give you ideas to generate sort of offers and products to sell, and use it to draft your homepage. Okay, so AI is great for all that. Okay, so that's if you're using the sort of standard models out there, just going into ChatGPT and having a chat with it. And it is really useful, but standard AI is good. It's really good, but we need, when we're building a business, we need our AI results to be fantastic. We need them to be really targeted and focused and well thought out and clever. Okay. And the only way to do that is either one, by spending a lot of time yourself to learn all the processes of and the questions you can ask of AI and going through really long conversations, or you can use sort of expert built prompts that and make sure that you're using sort of clear context and defined outcomes and structured workflows. Okay. And there's also another tool that I'm going to show you, which brings all your information together to help AI make more sense of it. And that's actually the little tip about using project files, particularly in Claude and ChatGPT. Gemini is really annoying. It doesn't have project files at the moment, which is a big miss. Okay, but definitely if you've got ChatGPT and Claude, you have something called project files, which is fantastic for this job I'm going to show you. Okay, so yeah, definitely not all AI is equal. And if you have average input, you're going to get potentially average output. And you can still make mistakes and still go off in the wrong direction because a lot of AI, when you ask it stuff, it says, yeah, that's a fantastic idea. That's brilliant. It sort of validates you because it's kind of scared to say, no, that's crazy. That ain't going to work. and you and It's very easy to go down a route of oh, AI told me that was great, uh, and, um, and you get lost. Yeah. Dana says ChatGPT thinks I'm a genius. Will says, yeah, it's definitely a yes, man. Okay, but that's only because these models have been trained to be helpful and courteous. It's their job to be helpful. Okay, so that they're not going off in wrong directions as such. They're just trying to be helpful and polite. Okay, so what you have to have is a system or some prompts that have a little bit more realism built into them, right? And it's perfectly possible to do that if you have the skills. And I have the skills. Okay. Right. So yeah, if you get it all wrong, it's going to give you potentially sort of weak positioning and poor offers and shallow research, confused messaging, and bad decisions downstream. Yeah. So yeah, if your foundation of your business is weak, everything built on top of it is harder to fix. Okay. So what I've been doing, we have many of you probably know we have an AI Insiders Club. Okay. And in that club, I sort of teach people more about what's going on in AI. We had a sort of a private Facebook group where I publish a sort of AI stories, and I keep people in the loop with what's going on. But what I've been in the process of doing in the last few weeks is building a new platform for that community. Actually, I'm building it directly inside of inside of the Ultimate Business System on one of the sub accounts. So effectively, I'm using the Go High Level software to do it. And so I've set up a new subdomain for AIinsidersclub.com, I think it is. And I've been steadily building out one of their communities. And it looks like this. It's still in process of being built. But it allows me to post a whole load of stuff in different channels. So I've got a welcome and start here channel, and I've got pinned posts. And you can open up all these posts and have a look through them. And it gives me options to add videos and images and links and all sorts of stuff just to make it more fun and accessible. Okay, and then I've been developing sort of three key paths that most people will fall into. So there's either an augmented professional path, which is kind of people using AI to make their business and jobs simpler and more efficient. There's a builder channel, which is for people who are using AI to build stuff, apps and things like that. And then there's an AI advisor channel for people who are kind of looking to sell AI as a service and advise people. And then we have some various other channels of which are fun around sort of interesting articles around AI and robotics and community wins and results. And then I've got this whole prompting and workflows channel. And this is where I've been building some brand new prompts for club members. And also I've been taking some of the advanced prompts that I've used in the past, and I've been refining them, making them better. Okay. Now, at the moment, I've just finished the first lot of all these, and I've been working like crazy over the bank holiday weekend when the phone hasn't been ringing. And I've currently got 27 or 28 different prompts. Okay. I've created a directory as well. Okay. On all of these prompts, if you're in the club, you'll be able to click on the directory and it will take you through to the post page, and you can just download the Word document with the prompt on. Okay, so just divided up, I've got a business architect who will meet shortly. We've got a brainstorming prompt. We've got a devil's advocate and stress tester prompt, okay, which takes your idea or your business and puts it through the mill of what if, what could possibly go wrong, what do you have to be careful of. Okay, really useful. We've got content creation stuff for blogs and for content repurposing and weekly and monthly social media content. We've got a TikTok content strategy and video ideas with lots of hooks to grow TikToks. We've got a video creation system, personal branding, and a LinkedIn development. We've got copywriting for sales pages. We've got email campaigns, pitching, presenting, and persuading, anything to do with that as a prompt for that. We've got a research prompt, a document intelligence extractor. So you can give it lots of 3 or 4 different documents and it will parse all that and tell you what's important out of it, which is really useful. We've got a professional communications writer. Okay, so if you're writing letters or replying to difficult emails or negotiating with people, that's a place to go to. We've got meeting intelligence, which will kind of look up people that you might have a cold call meeting with and find out lots of background information about them and their company and their niche, etc. So you go into a meeting forearmed. We've got a client proposal writer. Okay, and then for the builders, the people who like building apps and stuff, they'll love this. Okay, this is a really sort of special series of prompts. Okay, so what we do is we take an idea for an app or a software or something like that, and we put it inside this build draft, and it works out a whole technical brief for that build. And then you take the results of that and put it into this project manager and workflow configurator, which would tell you exactly how to build it in what platforms, etc., and how all the connections work. It's all a real step-by-step guide. And then when you've done all that, I've got another prompt here, which will look at that and tell you how much it's worth and what you should sell it for and what packages you could do with it, which is just brilliant. I've got automation opportunity identifier. So if you're doing sort of zaps and things like that, it's really useful. AI readiness audit, so that you can sell your services to a client. You can do a sort of a background on what AI needs they might have. We've got a chatbot builder, a knowledge base builder. um, an AI opportunity prospector, research deep dive, an AI opportunity report generator. See, I've been busy. I've been busy, and they're all really good prompts. They work really well inside, particularly inside sort of ChatGPT and Claude. Gemini's been a bit funny. It's been a bit misbehaving with some of the prompts, because it kind of thinks it knows best. It's been a bit strange. I used to love Gemini, but it's just going through a stage where I'm actually loving Claude much more. Now, the really cool things about these prompts is that you can create whole workflows with them, okay, which is what we're going to look at now. Okay, and what I've done is I've created a master prompt called Navigator, which actually knows all the prompts that we've got in the library, and we can give it an instruction. Okay, let me just have a look at this. So I've got one teed up here. Okay, this is the navigator prompt, and I'm going to give it a task. Okay, so I know that I've registered this new domain, the aibusinessconsultant.co.uk. I've connected to a Go High Level sub account with a template website, an email address in place. So the domain is my starting point, my brief. I want to build an AI business consulting practice around it. So I have the infrastructure and nothing else. Yeah. So I want to work through a logical sequence to stress test that business, get some ideas, find out more about it. Okay, so I chuck that prompt, that description, into Navigator. You can put anything into there. I need a sales page for my offer. I'm building a chatbot for my business, and it will work out which order it suggests that you use the prompts in. So I gave this to ChatGPT, and it said, right, use the business architect first, and then stress test it in this prompt. Do some research and business intelligence analysts, try and get some use the build package to get the product commercialization, and then write some sales information for the sales page and set up some email sequences. Okay, and it gave me some other options I could go through. Okay, so it just lays out the step-by-step process of the prompts I want to use. Okay, really cool. Now, just for clarity, I did exactly the same thing inside of Claude and gave it exactly the same instruction, and it came up with a slightly different flow. Okay, so it wanted to do the research and intelligence first, and then brainstorm ideas and competitive landscapes, and then go into the business architect. Yeah. Okay, so there's no right or wrong way, perhaps. And it's useful to compare different AIs for which direction you're going to go in. All right. But what I'm going to do is we're going to try and see how far we can get in the process. All right. See how far we get in about 45 minutes. See how much we can build out in the new way with my prompts compared to the old way. All right. So let's see what they can do. So at the moment, I'll just be clear, you don't have access to these prompts at the moment, okay? It's still in beta mode, and you'd have to be a member of the AI Insiders Club when I move people across to the new platform. When it's all built out, yes, we will be promoting it and telling people how they can join, okay? And so essentially, you're the first people to have a behind the scenes on what I've been building. Okay. World premiere time. Okay. Right. So we've got this one route from ChatGPT and one route from Claude. Okay. I'm not too fussed which route we go down. Okay. But this one is suggesting we go with Hormozy first. Okay. So what I've done before we started, okay, is the Claude version said it wanted me to go into Scout, which is the research and intelligence analyst. Okay, so I've done this before this meeting. Okay, and I've done it inside Claude, and I've posted the prompt, and it basically says, right, what do you need to know? What are we looking at? Okay, so I gave it a prompt to say I'm setting up an AI business consultancy, and I want to know, identify any obvious gaps or opportunities in the market, and get a clear picture of what the established players are doing, where they're weak. Okay, so chuck that into Claude, into this Scout prompt, and it drops into something called a hybrid mode. Don't worry about that. But basically, what it's done is it's gone away and it's looked at the marketplace overlying for AI consulting. Okay. So it's trying to work out from figures that it's picked up online, is it a real opportunity? Yes, it is, although there are caveats. So the caveats are a credibility problem. AI consulting is a low barrier to entry field right now. Anyone can put up a website, and small to medium business buyers are becoming aware of this and increasingly skeptical. So it's the credibility signals that are really important. Okay, so that's a really well-defined bit of context that we need to know. Willingness to pay is not uniform. Yeah, that's kind of a bit obvious. Big companies have got more to invest. And there's also a caveat about education versus consulting. Okay? A significant portion of the apparent demand is actually demand for AI education and not actually consulting. So you've got to try and keep those two markets separate. Right? And then it breaks down the marketplace into the big players, IT agencies and digital marketing agencies who've been hit by AI in traditional jobs. And so they're trying to pivot to offering AI services. Okay? But do they know much about it? Not really. You've got solo AI consultants and freelancers, and then you've got these boutique AI consultancies, which it sees as the primary competitive set. Okay, and it says it requires deep research. Okay, so what this prompt does is it looks at the gap analysis where the market is weak and where it's strong, and sort of works that out that for AI business consultant.co.uk, the greatest unoccupied space is outcome-led and implementation-focused, sector-specific. Generalist AI consulted is crowded at the bottom end. So the more specifically we can define who we're going to serve and what measurable outcome they get, the more defensible your position. Really good insight. On pricing, do not compete on day rate. On credibility, the whole category suffers from credibility deficit. Okay, so case studies and real numbers is really important. And pick your sector specificity before you launch. A generalist is harder to rank, harder to refer. Okay, and then it kind of looks at that in terms of confidence rating. And then, amazingly, and really helpfully, what it does is it builds 5 deep research prompts for you to run separately. Okay, so there's one about the landscape, pricing and packaging benchmarks, buyer sentiment, sector opportunity assessment, positioning, and messaging audit. Okay, and what it wants me to do is to run all of those 5 queries as deep research runs. Okay, which just meant I used Gemini and opened up Gemini, posted this, copy and paste, set it off on a deep research, and I saved those documents. Okay, so that's as far as I've got at the moment. Now, does this make any sense? Does anyone want to ask any questions at this point about this sort of process? So I'm just going through a flow process to build up as much information as I can, background information about AI consultancy. Okay, and I'm just using these AI prompts to make it super simple and targeted. Okay, that's cool. Right, now what I'm going to do is I've got these 5 reports just sitting here in my Google Drive. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that. Sorry, I'm going to copy them into this Scout. Okay, so let's just do add from Google Drive. We want that one. Add from Google Drive. We want that one, the SMB one. Let's just see if that's going to take an age to upload. There's one of them. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to do this in a different way. Okay, it takes a bit of time to do. So what I'm going to do, okay, I talked about. Let me sidestep a minute. I talked about projects. Okay, and in Claude has a project section, and you can create a project and add lots of context documents inside it. And then when you have chats, you have it within that project that you're talking about, and it knows not lots of background information already. Okay, so that's you have projects set up in Claude, or you have the same option inside ChatGPT to add projects. Okay, these are really important and really powerful. Okay, so I haven't set up a project yet for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to research brief requirements and add to projects. And I'm just going to create a new project folder, which is AI Biz Consulting. Okay, let's just create that as a brand new project. Okay, and these documents, I'm going to just leave that there for a minute. There's a files option here. Right, so I'm going to give it some context and upload these files into the folder. Okay, which will mean they're permanently there, and all the other conversations that we have with AI in this project folder is going to have access to all this really good context information. Okay, so it's going to pervade across all the chats we have. Hey, why is it going so slowly? How annoying. Okay. It shouldn't be going this slowly. Claude is getting a lot of use at the moment. So it's really annoying. Okay, let's just get another one in there, try and upload them. All these documents are quite long. You know, they're 6, 7, 8 pages of information. So it takes a moment or two for it to go in. But all of this, okay, it's called context information. And this AI chat loves this context information. It gives it lots of knowledge to work from that's specifically targeted to this AI business consultants project. Okay, so let's get this last. I've got after this one. I've got one more to get in. Okay, just while we're there, Eugene says, unfortunately, I arrived late for this webinar. Can you tell whether a recording will be available? Yes, Eugene. Yeah, we add recordings to our YouTube channel. So if you search Ultimate Business System in YouTube, you should find our channel. And you can like and subscribe there, and always get the replays. I generally do them on launch them on a Friday lunchtime at 1 p.m. This is my normal time. I did tell you earlier that if you missed it, that last week's session is not up there yet. Because Vish had an issue with the recording, and he was going to re-record it for me, and he hasn't quite managed it. Okay, right. Here are the 5 documents added to the chat. All I'm going to go is go, here you go. Um, I'm going to let it decide a little bit of what it makes of that information. All right, so it's now going to be reading through all of that stuff and um, cool. Yeah, don't worry. You're not accessing an image. Don't worry. Da, da, da. We'll see. Right. Okay. Oh, I love it when AI. Okay. Message arrive empty. Okay. Right. Not a problem. Let's just retry that. See what happens. Give it another go. Okay. Otherwise, my route to do this, let's just see, is if I just click on download. Let's do it that way. Just to see if it's having a bit of a problem crashing from Google Drive. Right. Okay. Where's the right one? There we go. Okay, so let's just do uh, add files or photos. I'll do it from the computer and see what happens. Downloads. No, I don't want that many. Stop it. Stop it. Right. I'm getting a bit of lag from the webinar. That's the first one added. Du, du, du. Okay, let's just add files or photos. Sorry about this. This is going to be really smooth and it's just being a pain. Sometimes just throughout the day, some of the AI models slow down just because there's so many people using them. And it can be a little bit of a drag. Sometimes you have to sort of walk away and come back to it. And half an hour later, it could work perfectly. But I haven't got time to walk away and come back later. So let's just persevere, okay? Because these these context documents are going to be super important for what we do next. Uh, yeah, Dino, it is annoying when it does that. You're right. One more, one more. Let's see if this works. Okay, it's always the joy of trying to do stuff live, isn't it? Nick says, "Is there an optimum time to use AI?" Um, yes, when it works, Nick. Is the thing. You never know. Um, here you go. Right, let's see if that works this time. Um, yeah, I'm not sure there is a particularly optimum time. I reckon sometimes when the models are running an update into the system, it can slow things down and crash stuff, but you never know when that's going to be. So when it says you get a message up saying this is failing and try again later, yeah, just try again later. Okay. Um, 5 files received. Right, brilliant. Got it. So it's going to take a moment to work through all of those, and it's going to think about those bits. Now, just to remind yourself what Scout is trying to do, it's we're going to use that to think about the product and service design decisions. Okay, from the background information. Now, while this is running, okay, just while it's doing, let's just do something a little bit tricky. Okay, we've got ChatGPT advised me to do things like Hormozy and Crucible, a devil advocate stress tester. Okay, so I'm just going to, just while we're here, I'm just going to do a new chat. Okay, and I'm going to get that Crucible prompt so that you can see that one. There we are, there's Crucible, and we're going to plug it into ChatGPT. Okay, and it kind of wants to know, right, what's your plan? What's the context and the stakes? What you already think the main risks are? What you want from me? Um, okay, so that's the sort of information it wants. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to give it that specific information. Okay, I'm just going to pull across the first brief that I did. Okay. All right. So this is the prompt that looks for negative things going on. Okay. Crucible, and it's trying to map out what we should be aware of in the AI consultancy area. So it's just gone off to find a bit of the background information. And it says the opportunity is real, but the default failure mode in UK AI consulting for SMEs is not no demand, it's too much shallow demand, too many lookalike providers, weak trust, poor return on investment proof, and margin collapse. Okay. So the brutal headline is that market is attractive but dangerous in exactly the way most new consultants underestimate. AI interest is rising. Actual mature return on investment proven adoption is still uneven. Many firms are experimenting but few scaling, and that creates opportunity but also a crowded field of consultants selling AI strategy. Okay, and it's picked up some stats as well. The biggest threat is becoming an undifferentiated AI advisor. Okay, so it's picking up a little bit of that information that we came through on the first prompt with Scout, but it's giving us more depth of information. Okay, so this is great, low cost freelancers. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take this output. Look, it's still going. ChatGPT likes to give lots of value at the moment. Uh, that's for sure. Okay, when is it finished? What I'm going to do is going to take this and I'm going to copy it into another context document and put that into our project folder. Okay, so I've got all the things to be aware of about risks. It's still writing. It's going crazy. So let's just put a new Google Doc into this folder. We'll call it we'll call it the stress test report. Okay. Hopefully this is finished writing by now. It has. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm just going to click on the copy response and go to that blank document, paste it all in there. That's cool. And I'm going to download it as a Word document. That's cool. And then just while I'm back in here, sorry, in the research brief, let's just see where we are with here. I'm going to go to the project folder and add that file. Okay. Go on then. Okay, so every chat now has that stress test report to refer back to and to factor into its conversations. Okay, so I'm building up that context. Right, let me just go back and find the right chat there. We've got the research brief requirements. That's what we're doing. Okay, let's just see what this has come up with. These are the analysis, confidence grading. Okay, those are the prompts. Sorry, let me just get back through and see. Um, okay, what it's done. Final intelligence brief. Okay, so it's taken the 5 deep research reports and it's put it into a uh, comprehensive report for us. Okay, it's broken down into market confirmation. The opportunity is real, timing favorable, but the window for easy entry is narrowing. Okay, so we get a good bits in there. The competitive set named and mapped. 15 specific competitors are now visible from the research. Here's how they organize. Okay, so it's looked at all the boutique UK AI agencies, picked up lots of information about what they're doing, and trying to pick up some of the stuff they're charging as well, which is really good. Okay, so we've got 15 bits of competitor research to look at. Okay, and then it's got positioning map. What are this? 3 clusters dominate current messaging. Understanding which is crowded determines where you stand. So, okay, cluster 1, the anti-hype pragmatist, uses language built around confidence, clarity, and practical, and no jargon. Okay, so the cluster 2 are the efficiency engineers, focus on automation workflows, hours reclaimed. And the third group is the sovereignty and growth partners, position AI as strategic assets, using phrases like owned by you and strategic advantage. Okay. Then it sort of breaks down what we shouldn't be saying, and says what we should be aiming at. So AI for UK chartered accountants. Okay, so it wants us to get more targeted into niches. Buyer psychology, what actually drives and blocks purchases. Okay, bang, bang, bang. That's really cool. Okay, there's lots of reading for me to do here. Sector prioritization. But we've got this. Okay, we've got this from one prompt in Scout, running 5 deep research backgrounds that it's asked us to do specifically, and it's got all this fantastic information. Fantastic information. Well, look at it. It's got, here's the strategic brief, AI readiness audits, bang, confidence on findings, bang. Okay, that's brilliant. And what do you know what I do is I'd take that and I would create or copy and paste that into a report, add it to the project folder, okay, to add to the context. Okay, so I'm building up some brilliant information. So I've sort of stress test the business. Okay, in fact, let me just do that bit now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to now put that into Hormozy, who's my business architect, who's a bit of a hard-nosed character, and he's going to take that and look at this information and put it into a bit more of a plan for us. Okay, so let's just go in here and just do this really quickly. And we'll just take this research brief. I'm just going to copy this whole response here and paste it into here. Research brief. Excellent. File. Download it. Okay, and then I'm back to Claude. Go back to this bit, and then in the project folder, we're going to add that research brief. Okay, I've still got these other deep research to upload as well when we've got a moment. Karen's just asked a question and says, would you advise us to have Claude and ChatGPT as you've done? I kind of think it works really well, handing off information from one AI to another. Okay, I'm probably confusing some people by using quite a lot of prompts here and moving information from one platform to another. Um, but each platform has its own sort of individual view, and just that kind of the depth and the way that it writes and the way that it structures its information. So I can, as part of my testing process for all these prompts, I was testing them all in Gemini and ChatGPT and Claude. And then I was getting Claude to assess all the outputs from the other models. And it was telling me where Gemini was doing better than and where ChatGPT was giving output that was better. And it was really quite interesting that at the moment ChatGPT was performing much better than Gemini in general. Gemini seems to be really good for the writing side of stuff, but for anything to do with sort of analysis and ideas, then ChatGPT scores better. Claude seems to be better than both of them at both those tasks. Okay, so I'm loving Claude, but I keep on hitting the sort of rate limits really quickly, and I have to stop until the my allowance comes back in. And I'm just on the sort of 18 to £20 a month plan on Claude, but it's really good value. Okay, what have we got here? We've done our research brief. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the next prompt, okay, which is the business architect, Alex Hormozy. Okay, and he's built to tell you how it is. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, so I'm in the projects side and I'm going to run this Hormozy prompt. It's contemplating. Contemplating. What we're going to do is we're going to ask him to review that business. Come on. Okay. So basically, what Hormozy has done straight away, because I haven't given it any more information, I've just said get on with it. Basically, it's looked at the project folders and looked at all those files and gone, right, okay, I understand what we're kind of talking about here. Um, the opportunity is real, the window's open, but the default play kills you. The market is crying out for specificity, and your Grand Slam offer is sitting right there in the research. We guarantee UK professional service firms, accountants, solicitors, and advisors a working AI system deployed in 90 days, or you don't play for the implementation. That's outcome led, fixed scope, sector specific, compliance aware, and nobody in that competitive set owns that combination. Okay, so it's basically said, right, pick one of those sectors. The return on investment maths writes itself, and productize everything, productize an AI audit of one of those businesses, give them a 90-day sprint. Okay, so basically giving them 3 months for you to teach them AI and help them put systems in place, and then a monthly retainer. Excellent. You see how this Hormozy prompt, it's smart. It's like, where's the money left on the table? Publish the prices, trust compounds, and then build your evidence base. Your first three clients aren't revenue; they're your ammunition. Okay, so yeah, you do cut price for the first three, and get your reviews from them that you can use on your site. Fantastic. The bear case in your research is your actual roadmap. They said you'll fail if you're too broadly true. So be brutally narrow. Narrow is premium, narrow is referable, narrow wins. Don't build an AI consultancy, build a professional services firm that happens to deploy AI. Now stop reading, start selling. Okay. It's fantastic. It just sort of reframes the opportunity. So instead of saying, "Oh, wonderful idea, fantastic, let's build this AI agency. It's going to be brilliant," it said, "Nah, reframe this, because if you do that, it's going to be a bit junk and bit, same as everyone else. If you want to make some money and make a difference, be specific." Fantastic. So I could follow through and have a longer conversation with Hormozy. It's a great prompt to run ideas by. Okay. All right. So let me just go back to the original route that we had. Okay, just to see where else we should go to next. Okay, so in this is the navigator prompt again, right, that we use right at the beginning, which works out the sort of flow of the prompts we should be using in order. And this one, ChatGPT said, use Hormozy first, then Crucible. Right, okay, we've done that. We've done our research and intelligence. Okay, build package, product commercialization. Okay, so this is building our consulting practice into a clear, sellable offer. Okay, which could be really fun to do. So if we take that, where is it? Running advice. Okay. Um, give me a considered context document to pass to another prompt that will look at potential product and service packages. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm asking this prompt to prepare me some information for the next prompt I'm going to use. Okay. So it's just having that sort of flow of information. I'm using the strength of this business analyst and what it's found and recommended to put it into another prompt. Okay, it's kind of thinking about prompting as in a slightly different way. Now, yes, I would love to have all these prompts in a sort of full agentic environment, so that we could just sort of run this whole conversation inside a software platform. Okay, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I've only just built the prompts, but it would be really cool to look at that in the future. Okay, all the things we can do, it's crazy. Okay, with coding. So at the moment, Claude is just building that context document. So really, it's interesting. What it does is it actually builds it in code first, and then converts that to a docx rather than sort of, which is like a Word document, rather than just building it as um, a lot of writing. It's an interesting way of doing it, although it does use quite a bit more of my Claude allowance by doing that, which is annoying. Okay, so we're going to get this. We're going to get a context document in a minute, which we'll be able to copy and paste and add to another chat. Okay, so while that's building, I'm going to go to this other instance of Claude, and I'm going to back to the projects that I've got. So in here, I've got the research brief, consultancy market, the stress test report. Okay, I know I've still got those other bits of information to add, but we won't do that at the minute. And while that's getting ready, okay, I'm going to open up this build package prompt. Okay, this is the one that kind of looks at all the work you've done and kind of figures out what your sort of pricing strategy is and what you can sell stuff for. Okay, so we'll just put that in there and see how this is getting on. Da, da, da. It's a really big document. uh, we shall see. Okay, it's worthwhile doing. What am I in at the moment? I'm about 2 p.m. So I had about half an hour of sort of preamble telling you about prompts and what's happening in the AI Insiders Club. So in actual prompting terms, I'm about half an hour in, uh, and I've really made a huge amount of progress in defining what this business is about. Okay? So if I had started, well, this is doing this. If I'd started at the beginning and gone, right, this is my AI business consultant website, and I need to get some generic content to fill this so that I've got a sales page to put out there and then I can promote it in social media, etc. Okay, this might have just been a generic, hey, I'm an AI business consultant, come and talk to me and I will help you. Okay? We kind of know now is a crowded market and a very competitive one, and we would struggle to get seen. Okay, but now we know with our sort of research, where is it? Come on. Okay, here is our document. So I'm just going to download our product and service brief. This is what Claude has just built for me in that time. It's beautiful, isn't it? Really nicely laid out report, competitive landscape. What is it? 9 pages long. It's done. Okay, that's cool. So, uh, right. Okay, so this is the build package, which is just taken the existing context document inside the project folder and started giving me some information. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it that. Oh, it's still writing here. I'm going to give it that extra bit of information as well in a minute. Okay, and just do add files and folders. Right. Uh, so here is some extra info to consider. And so I've just interrupted it a little bit from what it was doing and got it to consider that output we got from the prompt. Okay. So I'm just sort of building it up, building it up, building it up. Okay, so it's just having a look at that big output from the consultant brief. I'm going to factor that in. Now, once I've finished looking at this packaging thing, okay, I kind of want to see it when it's got all the information, which will kind of make more sense. After that, I would use all this context information to go into what was the next prompt. We needed the sort of the website building side. Okay, so there is a where is it? Build package, build assemble. Must be one of the first ones. Forgotten all their names. I've been busy with them so far. Sorry. Lots of form. Okay, must be up there with the strategy and thinking. No, content creation. There we are. Yeah, sorry, it's Catalyst post prompt that I would use for copywriting, and that would build up the framework of the front page of our website. Okay, into a coherent sales message. Once we decided on which niche we were going to target out of those professionals. Okay. So it is, we're just making this whole process of building a business so much easier, and swifter and more thorough. Where's me? I've got too many chats open. Okay, that's that one. Right. Okay. So this is back to the prompt that's building the packages. Um, and it's given us some ideas. Okay, the service ladder, 4 products, 1 path. Each one is complete as a standalone purchase, and each one is also the most natural route to the next. Okay, the firm briefing, steady state, 850 per session, or 270 a month. The practice diagnostic, the 90-day build. Oof, we like those prices, don't we? Um, Okay, and it's given me a run through of these. Okay, the firm briefing is a pipeline mechanism. Partners or directors of accountancy practices, law firms, and estate agencies who know AI is relevant to their business but haven't yet committed to an assessment or a project. Okay, that's who it's for. The problem it solves. I keep hearing about AI, but every conversation I have either talks over my head or tries to sell me something expensive. I need to understand in plain terms what's actually relevant to a firm like mine and what isn't. Cool. So for that price, they get a half-day group session, structured addenda, written one-page summary, and a 20-minute private conversation with one partner or decision maker after the session, which is basically a sales chat, yeah. um, okay, so it's worked out the route of the offers we need to put on our website, and what we need to offer people. The practice diagnostic, um, and what's the other one? That's 4 grand. Okay. Um, Lots of information. A 90-day build, which is our core revenue product, which is when we've sold our services to someone, we get in there and do it for them. Sprint kickoff, build and integration, staff adoption sessions, documented handover packs, 30-day post-launch monitoring, post 90 day 90 measurement report, all really good stuff. Okay. And then we've got that at a decent price. And then I think there was another plan, the steady stage, which is the retention, which is basically, um, a monthly retainer to look after them and health reviews, etc. Okay, fantastic. So really good information and structure that we've got built into it. And it's sort of picked out those pricings because it kind of looked at what other people are paying. Now, we might need a decent team to deliver that. So if we're running as a bit of a solo, we're either going to be bringing in someone to help because we can see what money we can make. So if we're making that sort of money on these projects, we can potentially afford to bring in 1 or 2 people to help deliver that. And that's how you grow a business. Okay, if you've got the guts to go with it, but I would probably drop it down a little bit less and try and get 1, 2, 3 clients out the way first, and get those reviews and feedback from them that we can put onto a site. Okay, but that's how that product development side works. And if we had time, we could then put all of that information into the sales page builder. We would have information that we could start building out on inside the template website. Okay, so yes, there's still a lot of work for us to do to take all that information and get it into this page and build it up. But we've kind of used AI to figure out where we should be, okay, where our market is, yeah, and how we should be presenting to that market, what's going to make them sit up and listen. Right? Really useful stuff. Right. Now, obviously, there is, this would be, if we we're doing this for real, there'd be a lot of money on the table, and I would run a lot more of this information through more of the prompts to get a wider feeling about this, just in case. Okay, but all the prompts are there to enable you to do it. Okay, right. So All of these are going to be available in the AI Insiders Club when we get to launch. Okay. So at the moment, I've built all of those initial prompts, and I'll probably have more prompts to come that will add to the directory. I'll be probably adding an extra channel in here for community requests for prompts that people want to write. We're talking about potentially having a community build session, um, so that we all kind of work on a project together over a month and actually to build something, launch something, solve a problem. Um, and everyone kind of can get involved in that and see how that process works. So at the moment, I'm just building all the tools and I'm building the content. I've got a few people who are in there who are helping me do that and to tweak things and improve it. There's also access to the monthly replays that we do. I'll be creating sort of weekly short AI update videos as well, and posting them into the group so that, you know, instead of just sort of reading just posts, you'll have a sort of 10 or 15 minute what happened in AI this week, which is cool, as well as the monthly deeper dive sessions we do. Um, I I've still got to do a lot of work in the back end around automations and sort of email onboarding and keeping people warm. At the moment, in terms of people are asking about when's it going to be available and what price. Okay, I'm kind of thinking it's going to be another 2 to 3 weeks until we've got it right, because I've got to build a whole new sales page for it. I kind of started by building a sales page for it, and I was having conversations using my prompts about the AI Insiders Club, and it was clear that I needed to change the change all the wording and the focus of the sales page. It was just the prompts were fantastic. They've been fantastic to help refine what this community is going to be. You know, it's not just going to be an information site. It's going to be a really sort of a productive group of AI people. You know, you can get involved as much or as little as you like, but there will be people that you can bounce ideas off and move things forward. And these prompts are going to help you just do pretty much anything in AI. And if there's a prompt you need, then you just drop me a message and I'll build one. Okay. In terms of pricing, I think I've still got to go back and have a discussion with Simon around this. At the moment, the AI Insiders Club is about £50 a month. The new version might be the same, might be a bit more, might be a bit less. But basically what I've shown you today, if you can get hold of those prompts and use them, okay, it's paid for itself every single month because you can just get things done and get things out. Okay. I imagine we'll probably do it on a free trial as well, sort of 30 days free trial. So something like that. I've got to have that sort of longer discussion with Simon about it. We might do it cheaper. It might be 30 quid, 27 quid, something like that. Who knows? All right, but it's coming. It's coming, and just keep an eye out for it, because from what I can tell, and I've been looking around using AI and assessing the sort of the marketplace. There's no one else who's using these sort of prompts in this way for this route. Everyone's talking about how AI can make you better, smarter, whatever. This club is about what you can get done with AI. How can build stuff, how you can solve problems, how you can save time by creating content really quickly. Uh, and with the prompts, honestly, the prompts that I've been writing, and I use that with I've trained one of my Claude conversations in everything to do with the advanced prompting systems I use, and it's able to work together with me to create some really fantastic prompts. Peter says, I've been trying GenSpark. What do you think of this site? Presumably it's a competitor. Peter, there's so many of them. So many of them. What do you think of GenSpark, Peter? What does it offer you? Um, a lot of them are just sort of really sort of fluff stuff. Your all-in-one AI workplace, slides, docs, images, video, codes, and design. Okay, so this is probably the sort of next generation of where the AI Insiders Club could move to. So this is kind of, oh no, I don't want to. I just want to see what's going on. Um, okay, so it's moving sort of, it's taking these prompts and moving them into workflows and teams. Yeah, so that's what I want. Instead of having to sort of copy and paste prompts, yeah, you kind of need a site with memory and API access from Claude or ChatGPT driving it in the background, um, so that you can create all this content inside one platform. Okay. Well, I've just been building the AI Insiders Club for 3 or 4 weeks with all those prompts. Okay, so can I do that next week? Build the software side, and do you know what? I could probably do it using the tools I've got in a club. It would, it'd be a big process. Um, but yeah, I'd be able to project manage that if I had time. Um, Bimby says, how does UBS Ultimate Business System compare with marketing blocks in terms of what it offers? Um, so Ultimate Business System, it kind of offers, hold on, where is it? I've got it open somewhere. Bang, I'm sure it's here somewhere. One of these pages. There we are. Ultimate Business System. This is the back end of the AI Business Consultants site. Okay. I've got everything in here I need to build and run a business in. So you've got websites and funnels and contact lists and email marketing. They've introduced a sort of an AI agent side of stuff, and there's an AI dashboard that's just coming out. And literally, it's only, hold on, let me just get rid of this. It's only this agent studio has kind of only just been released in the last sort of week or so. And because I've been building stuff inside of the AI Insiders Club, I haven't had a chance yet to come and learn what's going on in here. But you can build AI agents um, in inside of your Ultimate Business System profiles, as well as your voice agents and your chatbots, etc. Okay, and you can build up your knowledge base. I have created a prompt to build the knowledge bases for you, which is going to be great. Takes lots of information from your business and asks you lots of questions to fill in the gaps and helps you create a knowledge base, which is brilliant for putting into chatbots and things like that. So marketing blocks does some of all that stuff, but it does a lot of creative stuff as well. But you're on two quite considerably different price points, I think. I must admit, I haven't looked at marketing blocks for a while now, so I don't know. They kind of went down more the agents route, I think, and moved away from the content creation side of stuff. So yeah, it's apples and oranges, isn't it, Bimby? Okay, the main thing to do is to do a bit of research, use AI to compare those two platforms, and give you a sort of a SWOT analysis. And it kind of depends on what you want to do, what your focus is in business, which tools you need, which one that gets you money. And that's the bit of truth, isn't it? Especially as we go into a more difficult economy. We know we've got to give value, we've got to have trust, and you've got to save time and make money, get products to market more quickly, and look after your clients. And this is all the sort of ethos that I've been baking into the new content for the AI Insiders Club. Over deliver. That's the thing. Cool. Peter says, I think what you're doing is fantastic, but it's a bit worrying for me as a relative novice. To use something like this effectively, would you not need a Roger Norris to work with you? Well, funny that, Peter, I'm just in the process of setting up an AI consultancy. So, are you an accountant by any chance? No, look, Peter, the tools that we've got in here. Okay, I've tried to make it as simple as possible. So this navigator prompt, okay, I defined the question I've got. You could give this a really simple question. This is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to learn more about. And it will say, right, okay, just follow this process. Move the information, get the information in here, and just follow the progression. Okay. And the prompts will do it for you. Definitely one of the things that I will be looking to build into the club. I've got some ideas for it at the moment. Talking about training, is that I'll kind of want to create a prompt that teaches you how to talk to AI, perhaps, and help you write better instructions or prompts back to the AI. Okay, so that's one potential. I kind of want to build a bit more of maybe a chat bot that goes on top of the club that you can then pop out and ask any questions about. So lots of different ways we can build that in. In the learning channel, okay. Yes, I could do sort of weekly, and I'll be posting the sort of weekly updates in there as well. Yes, I could do sort of platform training. The only problem is with all the sort of training around AI is it changes so darn quickly. Okay? I could write a course now about ChatGPT, and tomorrow it will be out of date. Something would change. Claude, good old Claude, someone worked out that a couple of weeks ago that in the preceding 54 days, it had released 74 different updates across the Anthropic system. One or two things changing every day. It's difficult to write a course on that. Because people want up-to-date information. Up-to-date information does not exist in a course format for very long. Courses can still be really useful, okay, but you've got to sort of try and keep them up to date, or just do short courses that go, bang, here's this set of information now, and then sort of react a bit later on. Or you set up a system whereby your AI can create and update your course for you using AI avatars and design and agents to do it for you. All perfectly possible. A bit more expensive at the moment and a bit slow, but that's the sort of stuff that's coming. It's really interesting times, Peter. Okay, but this is the time to keep looking at AI because it's moving away from the stage of me just sort of chatting and getting really good information. Okay, this is great. I'm getting much better context information using my prompts than anyone else is going to do. Right, but the next iterations are starting now where we'll be getting agents to do this for you. Okay, we might start out with a prompt at the beginning saying, I want to set up a AI consulting business, and you just sort of come back and have a look at it every now and again. Every now and again, it'll report back and say, "Yeah, I've checked all this out for you. This is what I think. Do you want to go down this route, this route, and this route?" And you say, "Oh, this route. Okay, yeah, we'll do something for accountants." And then I'd come back a day or two later and check to see if there's anything else, or it would alert you on your phone to say, "Hey, I need a bit of input." And in a week, you might come back and it's built that entire website for you and started building your social media. These are all the things that are coming. And some of them you can kind of start to do now. All the elements are sort of fitting together. It's really exciting times, Peter. Blink and you miss it. So yeah, you've got to keep up with it, and that's what the Insiders Club's all about. Cool. All right. So I know that it still needs to reflect back. We're the surgery sessions are still about the ultimate business system, um, but I'm just showing you what the potentials are. You could have still done all of these queries and deep research by just using standard ChatGPT and Gemini. Okay, it would still be good, but it wouldn't be the real depth um, and vitality and pertinence of this information. Okay, cool. Right, everyone, back to work. Out to the sunshine. Go back, check your inbox. Uh, have a fantastic day, and I will see you. I don't know. Well, probably about 3 or 4 weeks. I think we'll be back again. Okay. So have a fantastic time. Thank you very much for your time. Much appreciate it.